How would you like to get through this Christmas not gaining 1 pound, not 1 ounce of fat in your body? Also get through Christmas feeling energetic. Get to the end of Christmas, still feeling energetic. Get to the end of Christmas, feeling motivated, feeling ready to get things going again. Versus the typical thing of feeling sluggish, lethargic, fat, unhealthy, and despite wanting to do something, feeling completely unmotivated. Welcome to this episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast. And this is part one of a two-part series here pre-Christmas, where I'm going to share with you 10 valuable tips, secrets, tools, whatever you want to call them, for surviving the Christmas without gaining a pound. That's right, surviving the Christmas without gaining a pound. I don't mean by making sacrifices. I don't mean by exercising your life away. I don't mean by avoiding all the lovely food that's there and all the dinner and all the different forms of potatoes. If you're into potatoes, I'm Irish, so we love to spud every form. All the cake, all the pudding, all the trifle, all the sweets, selection boxes, everything that's there. Alcohol, wine, mulled wine, so on and so on. You can have it all without gaining a pound. How does that sound to you? So this is going to be part one. I'm going to share with you 10 tips, 5 in this one, 5 in the next one. So make sure you listen to the next one. And this will help you to navigate Christmas, because for most people, this time of year is a time when, yes, you have fun, you enjoy everything, but at the end of it, and when you come through on the 27th, 28th of December, you're typically feeling really sluggish, you're feeling really unhealthy, your sleep has gone bad, your bowel movements have probably gone bad, you aren't full of motivation like you tell yourself you will be after you take a break for Christmas. All those kind of things. Your gut won't feel good, your body won't feel good, your skin probably won't look good, all these different things. Whereas I want you to be able to have fun, have all the things you love, but get through it. It's like for me, I love Christmas, my favorite time of year. And I love everything that happens at Christmas. And I especially love the food side of it. And I will be eating everything, but I will get through it and I will still feel really good. I'll feel energized. I'll feel motivated. I'll still look good, all that kind of stuff. So let's go. Tip number one. How long is Christmas? It's a question I'm going to ask you. How long is it? Is Christmas like Christmas Day? It's one day, right? Christmas itself, 2, 3 days really? Or is it a month? Most people seem to think it's a month, or at least a few weeks. Some people even start Christmas mid-November when the Christmas party season kicks in. You go, look, no point. What's the point in keeping on track? Sure, all these parties and everything, and there's just no point. I'll start again, start in January. Biggest mistake you can make. The longer you have a period of off your routine and out of your exercise, out of your nutrition, out of your water, out of your waking time, your sleeping time, different commitments you make to yourself every day and consistent with, the longer you're out of that routine, the harder it is to get back on track. Not the easier, the harder it is to get back on track. Plus, you'll have extra fat in your body, you'll have extra fluid retention, you'll have shitloads of toxins inside your body. You'll just feel awful. So the longer it is. So I asked you, how long is Christmas? Christmas is a couple of days. What I always advise my clients to do is stay focused until maybe 21st, 22nd, 23rd, one of those days, then switch off. And when I say switch off, I mean switch off. And then switch back on again around 27, 28. You got 3, 4 days or so, doing whatever you want, no rules, enjoy and so on. And then 27, 28, get back on track. Not necessarily full throttle. I'm talking about getting back on track, 60, 70% of your ideal lifestyle. And then once you hit the 2nd of January, 100%. Usually people aim for the 1st, but 1st is still a day kind of off and holidays and off work and things like that. So the 2nd, back on at 100%. So you have keep focused till Christmas, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. You make your choice. For me, this year it's the 21st in the afternoon. I'll be switching off. You might be 22nd, you might be 23rd. Stay switched off, no rules until 27 or 28. Then switch back on 60, 70% of your best till the 1st inclusive. And then the 2nd back on 100%, and then keep progressing from there. Realistic plan, eh? Realistic. And one you can definitely stick to. And this is what's so important for everything you ever aim for in every aspect of life, not just Christmas. Always set a realistic target that you know you can achieve. And if you don't, it's bloody ridiculous. And then build on that and build on it. So first one, it's a question. How long is Christmas? It's a couple of days. Remember that. Or keep reminding yourself. Now, I'm not saying don't do Christmas parties or festive get-togethers. If there's things like that, like work get-togethers or friends who come back home from abroad or things that you have as your routine for Christmas. Do them, enjoy them. If there's food, drink involved, have a great time, knock yourself out. But the rest of the time around it, be good, stay on track, unless it's after the 23rd. Okay? Second one, strategic planning. It's a rule for life in general. Same for Christmas. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So plan what you're going to do for Christmas. Like the plan I just outlined for you there in terms of how to navigate, staying on track, switching off, getting kind of on track, and then fully back on track again. So that's a plan. Have that plan. We do the same even for your Christmas days. I said have no rules, and I mean that. But decide, do I actually want to do zero exercise or do I do some exercise? Even just going for a walk every day, maybe going for a swim, going for a cycle, doing 15, 20 push-ups a day, whatever. Or do I want to literally do zero? Plan for it. If you've got nights out over Christmas drink-wise, do I want to just go out and have whatever the hell I feel like? Like I literally drink myself silly? Or look, I want to go out, have fun, drink, but I don't want to have tons of it. I might have 5 drinks. Same as like Christmas Day and the other days around it. Do I want to be eating chocolate and stuff all day? Or will I maybe have a decent breakfast, have a nice dinner, and a few treats watching a movie that night? Strategic planning. Plan everything. Plan around it. As I said, deciding and committing that you're going to have no rules and do everything you feel like, that's a plan. Just as much as I'm only going to have 5 drinks maximum per day, or I'm going to only have chocolate at night watching a movie, or I'm going to have 1 dessert or whatever. It's planning. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So number 2 is about planning, strategic planning. Number 3, what are your triggers? Christmas time, as much as it should be a wonderful time, and it can be a wonderful time, can often be a stressful time for many people. It can be an emotional time for many people. Because people around people, and people around people are not normally around. And largely, I mean families. And look, in every family dynamic, there tends to be a lot of different types of personalities and characters. And unfortunately, in most families, there's going to be little rifts, little ones as well as massive ones. There's going to be differences in opinions, as the different characteristics, different personalities. So who triggers you? Are you going to be around people at Christmas that trigger you? So what are your triggers? Because when we get triggered, we tend to do destructive things. We tend to just go for food, comfort eating, go for chocolates and cakes, comfort eating, or bags and bags of crisps, or alcohol, or substance abuse. That's what we tend to do when we get triggered. So it's important to identify, like number 2, I said strategic planning. Number 3 kind of a little bit ties into that in terms of identify what your triggers are around Christmas time. Okay? What will completely throw you off track is, look, as I said, I have no problem with you eating and drinking like crazy. If you decide to do that, it's all about deciding what is it you want to do and you decide to do. But not because of other people making you upset, making you feel anxious, making you feel uncomfortable, or any of these different types of negative emotions. We want to make sure no matter what time of the year it is, we're not reacting to negative emotions, because all that happens is if we react in a destructive way, we're harming ourselves. And it doesn't serve any purpose, it doesn't help us in any way. So what are your triggers? Identify the triggers. Now, it might be as well pre-Christmas and the lead up where you might find it hard to stay on track the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Maybe it's a case of in the office, at work, for weeks before Christmas, there's boxes of chocolates everywhere. And you're triggered by the fact they're there and you see them and you want them, as well as other people pressurizing you to have some. Plan for it. Decide I'm not having it, or you might decide, look, it's too hard to have none. I'm going to have 3 per day. I'll go in, I'll take 3 and that's it. Or you might bring another snack you have instead. So when you feel tempted, you have, let's say, a bag of trail mix, like fruits and nuts type mix, something like that. So again, what are your triggers? Identify them and prepare for them so that, again, you're ready to tackle whatever is going to be there. And it's like with triggers in terms of people, especially, if certain conversations or just certain people trigger you, plan for how you're going to navigate that so you won't get triggered this time, or you won't react to that trigger. So it might be a case you just, again, strengthen up your mind so that if they're talking stuff that you don't like, you just hear blah, blah, blah pretty much. You're not really listening. You're there, but you're not engaged. You're not really listening. Or if they usually say certain things to you that might be a bit derogatory or trying to get a rise off you, like trying to get you to react, be committed to not reacting. Because who loses there? You're the one who gets angry, anxious, upset, all the negative emotions. They could last for hours. You're the one losing. They don't really care. They might even be aware that they're doing it. So identify your triggers around food, around people, around drink, and so on, and then plan for how you're going to navigate that so you don't get triggered this year. Next one, you're going to love this one. But there is a caveat that would say, eat what you want. Now, I did say about no rules for that period of time, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, until 27 or 28. And I mean that. Have no rules, but at the same time make decisions. But eat what you want. But what I mean by that more so is, as well as eating like lots of whatever you want, I mean really eat what you want. Don't just eat stuff because it's there. Like for me, for instance, I love trifle. My favorite thing on Christmas Day, give me a trifle and a tub of ice cream. I'm happy out. I don't even need dinner. I love the dinner. I love all food. I love my food. But a trifle and ice cream is heaven for me. That's what I look forward to most. I look forward to after the dinner to get a big bowl of trifle and ice cream. And then for supper or tea or whatever you call it, wherever you are in the world, again, more of it. I love it. Um, but I'm not a fan of, I'm not a big fan of, let's say, pudding, Christmas pudding. So I don't want to eat something just for the sake of it. Same as stuff like marzipan. I can't stand marzipan. I'm not going to eat, say, chocolate covered marzipan just because it's there. No. Why would I waste a treat, let's call it, or a no rule situation on stuff I don't even like, or I'm just indifferent to it? Eat the stuff you really want. Like I said, I love all dinner type stuff. I love every form of potato you can imagine. I love trifle. I love chocolate. I'll be making cookies and cakes, things to beat the band. Because that'd be my time to just have no rules and switch off. But I'll eat the things I want. I'm no longer a big fan of alcohol, so I rarely ever drink. I'm not going to just drink for the sake of it. If I truly feel like, let's say, a glass of wine or something over Christmas, I'll have it. There's a good chance I might have zero alcohol. I'm not going to just throw beers down, even if I'm out with friends on nights out. I'm not going to just throw it down just because. I'm going to have stuff because I want to have it. So eat what you want. Don't be led by other people. Don't be led because of the festive season. Don't be peer pressured. None of that stuff. It's not good. Um, Fifth tip, and the last one of this particular part one episode of the podcast, it's not a friggin' race. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, when you're eating your food, it's not a race. Okay? Eat slower. I was guilty of this for so many years, especially when I was on the go and working flat out, and I was eating literally standing up, working with clients, and I would be eating so fast and practically inhaling the food. Now, when you eat without chewing properly, you eat the food faster, yeah, and it's gone faster, your meals are over faster, but you're also not allowing your brain to realize it's full, or the stomach. So the stomach basically gets full, it tells the brain, look, you're full, give the sensation. It takes a while for that to happen. If you eat too fast, you'll be full long before you actually realize you're full, and then you feel absolutely stuffed. It's a terrible feeling. A lot of people at Christmas feel so full. Now, a lot of it is gorging and eating too much. But at least if you eat it slower and actually chew the food, that sensation will hit you earlier. Because there is no worse feeling. And it makes you feel so lethargic and so tired. That's why a lot of people fall asleep on the sofas. But chew the food. Like I now for a number of years have worked hard to consciously chew my food. So I now will chew. I don't chew like 100 times, right? But I chew up more than I used to. I'm conscious of making that way. Because even for just your digestion and your gut and all that kind of side of things, it's so important to have it chewed as much as possible before you swallow. If you swallow it like barely chewed, that means your body has to do a lot of work and unnecessary work it's not meant to do. Just put a lot more pressure on your system. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is, you don't want to be doing that. So slow it down, remind yourself it's not a friggin' race, and just eat and enjoy as well. Because when you eat too fast, you don't even enjoy it because you're not getting to really taste the food. Eat slower, savor it, and enjoy it. Okay. So the 5 tips in this, the first 5 of the 10 tips for not gaining a pound over Christmas. Number 1, remind yourself how long Christmas is. It's 1 to 3, max 4 days. That's Christmas. Okay. Second one, strategic planning. Set a plan. Decide what you're going to do. There's no rules, but what does that mean to you? And if you have nights out again, set a plan. If you go and eat in someone's house, set a plan. Around exercise, set a plan. Around your typical routines, you do none of them, you do less of them, or you do normal. You may want to continue on with your normal routine of exercise or meditation or any of these things, or you might want a complete break from everything. Like for me, I'm going to take a complete break from everything. 0 rules, because my life is quite disciplined normally. 0 rules for those, especially 3-4 days, and then semi rules, let's say, for the rest of my break. Third one, identify your triggers, prepare for them, decide what you're going to do when you're triggered, and do your best to not be triggered. This will largely be around people, but also around food and occasions. So again, as I said, identify them, prepare in advance, know what's going to happen, because you can do that and prepare for it. 4, eat what you want. And what I mean again by that is eat what you want. So your favorite foods, enjoy them. Stuff you indifferent and you can't be arsed with, don't bother. Why waste calories on that? Why waste chewing even on that? The effort involved. Why eat something and kind of go, oh, didn't really enjoy that? What's the point in doing that? So eat the stuff you enjoy. Don't be force fed by anyone. Don't just eat stuff for the sake of it yourself. No mindless eating. Enjoy the stuff. It's a time to enjoy and time to enjoy foods that you wouldn't normally be eating. Number 5, it's not a race. Make sure you chew your food. Give your stomach time to tell your brain that, hey, I'm getting full. Tell him or her to slow the hell down or to stop eating completely. Let that signal happen, and then you have a choice to make. Either keep making yourself feel fuller and fuller, or stop. Take a break even. An half-hour break from eating can do wonders to make your stomach settle and you're ready to go again, if that's what you'd like to do. Maybe you might want to eat day and night every day for a few days. At least take breaks, make it a little easier, and chew your food. It's not a race. Okay? That's the first 5 of 10. I hope you enjoyed them. Hope you got benefit. Make sure, again, any comments or questions about those 5 tips, put them below wherever you're watching this. If you're watching on Spotify, please follow and subscribe. It does help a lot. And wherever you're watching this podcast, really appreciate if you can share it with other people. This is the type of stuff people need to hear, especially about Christmas time, because a lot of people feel that they're nearly resigned to the fact they're going to gain loads of weight and fat over Christmas. It doesn't have to be that way. You can get through it and not have gained a pound. That's my goal for you. So please share it out there. Really appreciate it, and really appreciate if you can answer the poll if you watch this on Spotify as well. So go out there, put these into practice this Christmas, and let me know how you get on. Have a good one. Look forward to speaking to you on episode part 2 of how not to gain a pound over this Christmas.